Allow me to give you the latest battle report. These are all of the significant events leading up to May 8th. Everything that's happened in the Gaza war, which, as you all know, does not only extend to Gaza. Hezbollah on May 3rd, they struck Israeli positions at Shtullah, which is an Israeli settlement. And I've plotted all of these out on the map for you. Okay, so that's the border with Lebanon, the so-called border, the imaginary line that some Europeans drew. There's Shtullah. All right, so we'll begin there. Here's the footage from the strike. These are AGGMs, okay, so anti-tank guided missiles. So for those of you who are listening but not watching, I'll describe the scene to you as you asked me to do in the past. So there's a house. So this is a house in an Israeli settlement being struck by a Hezbollah anti-tank guided missile. And this is a building that's been used by Israeli soldiers, okay? And the Israelis will then go and scream to you, you know, exactly what they accuse the Palestinians of doing, they do themselves. They say the Palestinians, they're packing fighters into a residential building. No one ever does that. I mean, make up your minds. Are Hamas underground or above ground? Which one is it? But in any case, the Israelis most certainly, and I've shown you video evidence of this, how they will literally walk, the Israeli soldiers, you see them walking into the building, setting up camp in the building, and then being hit. They're under surveillance the whole time. So yeah, the Israelis absolutely build these as covers, and even then they're illegal settlements. So, you know, what difference does it make? The settlers are all armed. The barracks are inside the settlement. The settlement itself is a violation of international law. I mean, we have like, you're dealing with a serial offender here. So that's number one. That's Shtullah settlement. Then we had Matullah. I know, lovely names, right? You could go ask the, you know. So this is from Channel 13, the Israeli Channel 13. They said that 2 Israeli soldiers were seriously injured. Other Israeli outlets then said that it was 2 soldiers killed, not injured, and that a 3rd was wounded in a strike. Hold on, here's the footage. So this was on the map. We're talking now about this location, okay? So we're moving from Shtullah over to Mtalla, so over here, okay? And this was on May the 7th, okay? So just yesterday. Multiple things going on here. So what happened is that Hezbollah, they used a bunch of drones. They fired drones at Israeli positions, and the Israelis failed to intercept the drones. So you see constant failures on the Lebanese front, where the Iron Dome is not working. It's not even activated. There's nothing being shot down. Nothing being fired, never mind shot down. And then you have the Israeli jets, the F-15s, you know, completely inept and unable to intercept any ordinances launched by Hezbollah. There's even footage of the F-15 in this particular instance trying to chase the drone and then failing to intercept it, right? So there's the F-15, okay? And here, I'll show you the video as well. I mean, F-15 is you know, an aged fighter, but it should still be able to get a drone. So there, he's fired off the missiles, and they didn't hit squat. So then, as I said, we have the Israeli channels confirming that the drone killed multiple Israeli soldiers, and there were 6 drones fired in total, okay? And this is in the Upper Galilee. Only 1 was intercepted out of the 6. All of the drones, the other drones hit their targets, and the Israelis tried to intercept, but failed. Here, and I'll show you video of the drone hitting the target. You can see how, so it hit a gathering of Israelis, right? Here it is. It's falling down and then exploding. You can see, like, right there, barely at the edge of the screen, there's a small explosion, okay? I'll fast forward it right there. Do you see it? It's funny because I found a video. I was searching through, and I found a video where you see the first ever drone delivered to Hezbollah personally, to Hassan Nasrallah by Iran. This is back in 1999. Okay, the Muhajir 2, and they filmed it and everything, right? Look at this. Again, I'm just muting it for copyright reasons, but you see the VCR time code in the bottom right corner. Just amazing, you know. This is real real VCR footage. So yeah, the first one delivered, and look how far they've come. You know, the Americans. They think that they have the best drone technology, and what do they use it for? Well, killing civilians. So, not, you know, what kind of an achievement is that? But over time, Iran have become the best producer of drones, and they literally helped the Russians win the war in Ukraine because of the drones. Don't forget that. Right now, the Israelis and Americans are being screwed in this Gaza war on multiple fronts by drones that were built by Iran. Never forget that. So the third Hezbollah strike, this was on Kiryat Shmona. Again, the best names. So you can see here on the map, this is the third target that I've plotted here for you, number 3. And again, just to zoom out, that's Lebanon. And I'm going in chronological order, okay? And you can see here how they fired these Katyusha rockets. Again, Katyusha is especially fitting. We talk about that today on VE Day. It's a ingenious Russian invention. You know, you get a truck and fire rockets from the back of the truck. And of course, they've built upon that since World War II. But it's known as Stalin's organs. That's a nickname for it. And yeah, it's a noise that terrified German soldiers, and now it terrifies Nazis, who are called Israelis. Yeah, so you can see how the whole settlement is up in smokes. And let me try and put this diplomatically. The Israelis thought that they will simply, leave Europe, walk into Palestine or Syria, and, steal people's houses, and that nothing will happen. The Arabs are the Native Americans that just so happened to have the right technology at the right time to teach colonizers a lesson. You see, the Native Americans, they were much more unfortunate, and they tried to resist the theft of their land. Every single treaty that they ever agreed upon was a lie or broken by the European settlers. Well, the Arabs are having none of it. And so the Americans and Israelis will try as much as they can, like the big bad wolf to enter the house, but it's not coming down. It's getting stronger and stronger. And let me show you some of the footage. These were filmed by Israeli settlers in this very settlement themselves, right, in Kiryat Shmona. So you can see the destruction. This guy had an Israeli flag painted on his Jeep. Well, he won't be driving it anywhere soon.
זה הרכב שנפגע. זה הרכב שנפגע. זה הרכב.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, this is not nice to look at or anything. No one is gloating. But you have to understand that these images, this is nothing compared to what the Arabs have to endure under the Israelis. This is, they had a few windows broken. Well, what are people in Gaza supposed to say? What are people in Damascus supposed to say? Well, what are they supposed to say when they get bombed almost every day, every week by Israelis? Or people in Lebanon, right? Since we're talking about the Lebanese front. What are they supposed to say? They not only have their houses destroyed, they have their families killed, they have to go live in a refugee camp in a tent. I mean, Israelis are not oppressed people. They are the oppressors. Are we clear about this? Yes, Jews were oppressed in Europe. What does that have to do with Arabs? Did Arabs do that? No. Go complain to the Europeans then. We're talking about the Middle East. In the Middle East, the Israelis, who claim to be Jewish, they are the oppressors. Okay? And no matter what they say, they are the ones oppressing Arabs and killing them in large quantities, displacing them. They have no moral standing whatsoever. They have nothing to complain about. If they don't like it, go back to Europe. Go back to Morocco. It's not the problem of Arabs to figure out where Israelis have to go. Just like the Algerians, it's not their duty to figure out where French settlers have to go. If you invade someone's country, they're going to fight back. And especially when you try diplomacy and they don't want to figure out any solution with you, and they just keep lying, and they use diplomacy as a delay tactic. I mean, you're dealing with the most powerful, well, used to be the most powerful government, the United States, backing the Israelis. So it's not like, there's some kind of imbalance of power here on the American or the Israeli side, rather against their favor. On the contrary, there's an imbalance in their favor, in the favor of the Americans and the Israelis. They have all the weapons and all the power, and they've been doing whatever they want for the last 75 years, screwing people, killing people, displacing them. So they can't come here now and start, shedding crocodile tears and saying that they're so oppressed. They're not. They're absolutely not. It's just that now the resistance have finally caught up. They have the right equipment. They have the right amount of people and the tactics. Everything is smart, from a military standpoint, from a military strategic viewpoint. The Israelis are losing on all these fronts because they don't know how to contend with Hezbollah. They don't know where Hezbollah's advanced weapons are. They haven't even used them yet in this war. So, these things that we're showing you, a Katyusha, as I said, is from World War II. And yet, nevertheless, the Israelis, they can't do anything against it. What are you going to do against a bunch of rockets? You know, that are fired at you from the northern front when you're busy with the southern front. What are you going to do? Or these drones that you're unable to shoot down. You can shoot down one, but the other 5 get through. You can't win. You can't win. Here's more of the destruction from this settlement. So this is just CCTV footage of the rockets coming down. You know, again, it's difficult to look at this and then say like, oh my God, it's you know, they're suffering or something. No, they're not. Compare this to the 2,000-pound bombs that the Israelis are dropping on hospitals, on all form of infrastructure in Palestine and Gaza, and then on people there. You know, we are talking about completely different ordinances and completely different tactics. They're incomparable. The politics is also different. What is the goal of the Israelis? The goal is genocide and ethnic cleansing. Take all the land. The goal of the Arabs is to get back the land stolen from them. So we're talking about resistance. You can't compare these two things, right? Again, YouTube demonetized my channel because I'm not allowed to say naughty things about Israel. You know, telling the truth is forbidden. So if you are able to donate a few dollars on PayPal or on a monthly basis on Patreon, please consider doing it because it would really help me continue my journalism and support independent media. So I'd be very grateful. And the links are in the description and also in the chat. Thank you guys very much again for all your donations and all your kind comments. I appreciate it very much.